come make a watermelon cookie as part of the Red Harvest set. This is the base of all of the cookies in the Red Harvest set, and it's that beige color. The first thing you want to do is outline the cookie with that beige color. So I'm just going fully in a circle. This is completely in real time, and I like to go in that circle maybe 2 or 3 times. One thing that you might consider doing is outlining every single one of your cookies, your circle cookies. Particularly in this set, that works because we are doing everything in the same exact color. If you do every single one before filling them in, then you can make sure you have a really strong, rigid edge for you to be able to fill in the future. You can tell I did not do that for this cookie. You don't have to do it, but if you feel like you're getting a lot of overflow, then I would recommend doing that. But the other thing I like to do is I'll create that outline and then I start filling in my cookie from the inside instead of going along the outside of it. And you can see I had a weird blockage in my piping bag, and I'm going to go all the way around filling in any extra pieces. You definitely want to make sure you're adding a lot of icing. If you are new to cookie decorating, you are going to be adding more icing than you think makes sense. And I don't know what was going on with my piping bag, but I kept having blockages today. And I try and go close to the edge without overflowing the edge. And the more you decorate cookies, the easier this will be for you. But even pros absolutely have cookie or icing spillage. And then I come in with my scribe, or this could be your toothpick, and I'm going to push the icing to that edge and then push it back into the center so it's not getting too much pressure on it. And I like to do this, one, to move all the icing around so we can have a very flat surface, and 2, to make sure that every single crevice is filled in and that line blends seamlessly with the rest of my icing. For the watermelon cookie, you're going to grab the red, and you want that base to still be wet. You can see it's very glossy, that beige color. You're going to come in with the red, and you're going to pipe half circles. You want to make sure that the icing is flowing out of your piping bag instead of necessarily you exclusively just pushing the icing to come out with your hand. When you put a lot of pressure on your piping bag, you can have it go a little wobbly when it comes out, but a little bit of pressure combined with the use of gravity allows you a little bit more control on where that icing flows to, and that'll make it easier for you to get these half circles. Now, once you have that half circle piped, you're just going to come in and do lines, make blobs to fill in that red half circle watermelon shape. And the pattern for this starts with 2 in the middle, kind of a little bit more centered, and then you're going to do 3 on the side. For the watermelon cookie, I tried to change the directions that the slices were going in. Obviously, when it comes to patterns, you can make whatever pattern shape you want. That is kind of the whole point of Iced.Kitchen. You can do whatever you want. I'm just giving you kind of a little bit of keys to the car and directions, but whatever roads you want to take there, however fast you want to go, that's your prerogative. So for the watermelon cookie, you're doing 3 on each side of those 2, and you can kind of change the direction that you want your slices to flow. Now, anytime that I felt like that initial little bit of icing was coming out of the piping bag and it was maybe too blobby or maybe too wiggly, circly shape, I would just wipe it on my hand or wipe it on the paper towel I always keep next to me and kind of start fresh. You do want to make sure that you're not spending too much time getting these shapes piped on. I don't mean to add pressure, but as you are decorating, the longer you take to add on these half circle shapes, the more your base is going to dry and the less likely the red is going to kind of blend, make that wet on wet into your base. Now, some people may like that. You may want your base to dry a little bit, and then you can have a little bit more 3D dimension when it comes to your watermelon slices. Again, that's completely your prerogative. If that's what you want to do it. Maybe you try the wet on wet with one of these cookies and another cookie. You're like, well, I want to see what it looks like 3D. I love that. I hope you share that cookie with me because I want to see it because I don't know what it looks like. I didn't do that with this set. After you have the essentially 8 watermelon slices, you're going to come in with that green, touch it on one side of that half circle, obviously not the straight side, and then do the half circle around to get a clean edge that's not as blobby. I tend to kind of go back over my line a little bit if I can't get the icing to just like break. This is one of the things that the more you decorate cookies, the easier your line work will become. And some people also just pick up line work really, really easily. I don't know what magic those people possess, but it's something. This is a great example of I ended it and then I let the icing flow, no pressure, back along the original line that I was piping. You may think this isn't a line, you're going in a half circle. I'm counting it as a line. Lines don't have to be straight. That's fine. And you're going to go over each of these half circles kind of as slowly as you need to, while also in the back of your mind thinking, how much is my cookie drying? You can see if you go back to the beginning of this video, how much glossier the cookie was at the start versus where we are now. Okay, it's not like a huge difference, but it is a slight difference. This cookie is drying as I'm working on it. And a little secret here, it's also, the icing is starting to flow off my cookie. You can see it a little bit there. This was a very droopy cookie for me, unfortunately. But it all works out in the end. They all look cute, and frankly, it's a cookie. So if it really doesn't look good, you can just eat it. After you have all of your watermelons outlined, you will have a brand new cookie when it dries, mainly because I grabbed a different cookie without realizing it. I felt like this watermelon cookie was missing something, and that's the overall sentiment I had about the Red Harvest set altogether. And so I wanted to use a fine tip edible pen, but my fine tip was completely dried out. You could not see it except for like a weird yellow tint when I drew on it. So I grabbed a thicker kind of felt tip marker and I just wanted to add a little bit of detail. I easily could have stopped it here with just the seeds inside the watermelon. I think that looks super cute, but I did a few additional accent lines on each slice of this watermelon just to give it a little zhuzh. And there's our watermelon cookie. The watermelon cookie is one of 3 in the Red Harvest set where you can make watermelon, cherry, and strawberry cookie patterns.